This is really hard to discuss, to be honest with you. This is probably one of the most terrifying moments in my life. Mary and I decided on a spot to go. We thought was in Clear Lake. It was a park, which I did a video on it. And so we both set it in, and each one of us, she left at a different time than I did. So we headed that route. And I was the first one on the route. And we knew we had to take 20 to the left, right, and not 53 to the left. So I had been in the area before, but never northern Clear Lake. So I really had no clue what it was all about. Southern Clear Lake I had been to many times. So I take the left 20, and I decide, I'm going to stop here at Dollar Tree. Found something. Anyway, let's keep going. I then put in Lakeshore Drive, which was, the park was supposed to be off Lakeshore Drive. She didn't see the park name, so it said to take Sulphur Springs Road. This is Google. So the first half mile was flat. It was in a neighborhood. And then all of a sudden, I started going up a tiny 2-lane road. Nothing but hairpin turns. You'd go out of one and straight into another one. Well, this road is not made for large trucks. I didn't see a warning sign. I saw nothing. I got about 3 turns and had to stop because there was a truck coming down, a Ford 250. Both of us, with the size of our vehicles, could not do the same turn. I stopped just before the turn as I saw him, and he went past me. It was, at this point, I'm very scared. It's very steep. It's very tiny. And on my side was the lake, and it was a sheer drop. There was no protection whatsoever, no rails, nothing. And maybe you had about this much. It was so tiny. This much as a part of past the white line. That was it. I went 5, 10, maybe at one point 15 miles an hour. I believe it took me almost 30 minutes to go 6 miles. This was terrifying. I really have to tell you, but when I got about halfway, there's no turnarounds. There's no way to back. There's no driveways. There's no way to get off this road. You are stuck on this road until you get down it. So the one place where there was a very short straightaway, I get around the U-turn and I come to a complete stop because half the road is gone. So the yellow line, the 2, it's usually 2, one of them is gone. They have no way. Everything is washed down into the lake. There's a stop. And there's no way you can do anything about it. And right past that is a U-turn, a hairpin turn. So I'm stopping and I'm going, I have to get past this. My van was within 2 or 3 inches of the mountainside, because this was the side on the mountain. I do not know how much room I had on this white. Honestly, the van, I would say maybe by 6 inches fit. It's so terrifying. You have no idea. You don't know if the road's going to go or not. They had no way of putting barriers up. There was no road. There was nothing. Just a sign. Just a sign. So I went like 5 miles an hour and I got through it. It was about 4 car lengths. And I immediately went into a hairpin turn. And that was probably 3 miles in, and I had 3 more miles to go. And at this point, I started to go down, which means I was on the mountainside. It was terrifying, and Google sent me on this road. I only met a tiny car and one other big truck, and they were on the lower part of that, and that was it. So I really think this road should have never been opened, but this is where Google sent me, on a road that my van barely even fit on. There was no signs. A lot of places that go no RV driving, no RVs allowed, whatever. There was nothing for this road. It went up over the mountain and then back down. And then I get to Clear Lake. And I'm looking, and Clear Lake, the Lakeshore Drive that I was supposed to be on, ended. And it immediately started going straight up. By now, I'm almost in tears. Google has just taken me... I can't even tell you how bad this was. I can't. And I go up this straight up. I mean, just like almost, you know how it is. Oh my gosh. I get up there and I have to make a turn that I can barely make. The van barely fits that turn. And thank goodness there were no cars coming. There were no cars because it was too scary. I really felt my life was in my hands. And I go around the turn and then I make a right. And right there, the mountain has like a V. I can park. There's like room for 3 cars. I get in there and I turn around. I'm like, I have got to get out of here. And I called Mary and I said, Mary, I'm here. I'm on Lakeshore Drive. There is no park. She goes, Lakeshore Drive was not in Clear Lake. They had, and neither one of us knew, we didn't understand. They had a Lakeshore Drive in a little town 3 or 4 miles just past Clear Lake. It looked like it said Clear Lake because Clear Lake was so big. But this tiny little town was called Lutheran, and it also had a Lakeshore Drive, and that's where the park was that you saw the earlier video. Google sent me to the Lakeshore Drive in Clear Lake. She went to the Lakeshore Drive in Lutheran because she had the park on her map. I didn't have the park on my map. I had Lakeshore Drive. So I did go back and get back on 53 down to 20, and I finally got with Mary. By the time I got with her, I was ready to go home. I was just a wreck. Guys, please be careful with Google. That was really dangerous. You know, that side could have gone at any time. If my vehicle had been too heavy, it'd been too wide, and no signs anywhere. No warnings, no nothing. So, that was also part of my trip. After that, smooth sailing, guys. But I had 2. One on the first day and one on the second day. I think it was trying to tell me to go home and I wasn't going. You have a great day. I hope you enjoyed seeing this. Be very careful with Google. This was really dangerous. Really was. Camo. Please view, like, and subscribe.